All right, boys, we've got a heap of new listeners listening to the Macpac podcast in the last couple of weeks.
So many.
They're coming down the pipeline hard, that's for sure.
They're absolutely loving it. So there must be a little bit of sharing going on, which
There must be.
we absolutely love.
Oh,
because
of course we do.
listening to a podcast is good.
Yeah, of course.
But listening to a podcast with your mates, so
Oh.
you can laugh about the inside jokes.
Yeah. Inside jokes.
Hell yes. You can have inside jokes about the show. You can talk about how rich Joey is.
That's what you want. So if you can spare a minute, all we're asking you is to share the Macpac podcast with a mate. Just flick a mate a text and go, hey, you might be interested in this, and see what they say.
Of course.
And if you are enjoying the show, make sure that you head to Spotify and give us 5 stars, or head to Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star review and write a couple of words in there, and we'll be sure to read them out on a future episode of the Macpac podcast. Boys, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
G'day, welcome to the Macpac.
We're back.
My name's Jamie McKenna, and to my left this week, another man on the panel most likely to compete a long haul run. It's my little brother Jay. How are you?
Yes, I'm good because I was running.
And to my right, coming in at 6 for 1, as he does each and every week, it's the baby, the brother of the pack of the week called Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you, mate?
And I can't running. Jenny. Why can't I start running, Jenny?
It's fun.
My knees hurt, Jenny, from all this running.
He's doing Forrest Gump.
Yes, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. We're chatting about running off the top because, as we mentioned on radio, Joe's got a bit of a long heaver coming up. We're also discussing the signs.
I saw the sign.
We've got signs. I've got a bit of a story about my neighbourhood, and Joey has a front seat favourite. Massive Ep. Let's get into it. Boys.
Brother Mingles.
How are we all? Well,
I'm good.
it is important that you mention that it is Tom Hanks, because if you don't, it does leave the door ajar to just some pretty hectic other suggestions, doesn't it?
Hectic other accents.
It's such a distinct voice, though.
Joe, you got a good Forrest Gump joke. You told me the other day.
Yeah, I do. I was watching it was like this little documentary on YouTube about how they did, like how Forrest Gump's voice came to be.
Oh, okay.
Because originally Tom Hanks was doing just sort of like a Midwestern kind of voice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then they got this kid in to audition to be young Forrest.
Yeah.
And he had this really distinct voice. And Tom Hanks
I have heard this.
Tom Hanks ended up, he was like, yeah, I really love this kid's voice. Like, then they ended up modeling older Forrest Gump on the kid. And he was talking about, like, oh, you know, I love this kid. I would talk to him and he'd be like, what tell me about your family? He'd be like, my dad makes grapes. And he like tells his story. And then in the documentary, I just feel like it'd be hilarious if it cuts to like the kid now and he's like, Tom Hanks is a bully. Like,
I have heard that story. I think I've heard Tom tell it.
he does it all the time. Loves doing an impression of a kid.
And based on your little story, loves saying I love kids as well, which makes me a little bit nervous. We do have a big show on the cards today, which is something we don't often say on the pod. We saved that for the radio. But today is a big show. Joey is doing a bit of a run at the moment. You're doing the HBF Run for a reason. What's your reason?
My reason? I wanted to run.
I wanted to, much like Forrest Gump himself.
Do you raise money for something, or does your money go to a charity when you put in, because you buy the ticket to run?
Yeah, exactly.
It would go for a reason, right? What's the reason?
Anyway, it can be any reason.
Do they raise money for something though, don't they?
Yeah, they're probably the giant insurance fund that they are.
There you go. Shout out.
True.
And you're not doing any fundraising yourself or any causes?
No.
No, fuck
His
that.
tongue's gone dry.
I'm not doing it for charity.
Okay, fair
You're
enough.
doing it for me.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. You're doing it for your own health, putting your limits on yourself. You've never
And it's only
run.
12K. Maybe if I was doing like 1,000, then I'd be like, someone's got to be getting some cash for that.
That's
It
fair.
better be me, dude.
The concept that it is only 12K does bring up some stuff that we talked about on radio. There'll be a few
only
people.
12K. Only 12K.
There'll be a few people who haven't yet caught up on the radio show that we did on the weekend. You can obviously catch that via the podcast stream, which is exactly where you're probably listening to this. We've got a little clip just outlining what we discussed on the most recent Saturday, and it does sort of project some form of challenge that we want Joey to take part in.
I don't know if you boys saw during the week over in Beijing, China, they completed their first ever half marathon between both humans and robots. Give us an estimate on the fastest person.
400 Ks.
What about the robot?
Robot, hour 15.
Robot was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh, so they're walking it.
Now, Joey might be getting a little bit nervous because what he said initially, I think Joey was quoted as saying, were they walking?
Were they walking?
Were they walking? Joey's got a halfer coming up.
Not a halfer. 12.
Joey's going to be doing it. What I've done here is worked out exactly how long it would take for the robot at 7 minutes and 37 seconds per kilometre to complete a 12K, which is what Joey's doing.
Nice.
And it would take the robot at that pace 1 hour, 31 minutes and 25 seconds. So what I would like to set up today, Joey, is a Joe v Robot race. Can you beat...
Can I do it? That's my goal. My goal is an hour and a half. We can't let them win.
Joe versus robot.
Joe versus
So
robot.
you guys have procured one from Beijing, is that correct?
No, we're just doing a hypothetical Joe versus robot. As I said then, we've estimated the time based on the same K pace. So the robot was running. We've estimated the same time for the 12K. And what did I say? It's 1 hour, 32 minutes, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
7 minute kilometre pace, 7:37 or something.
737, yeah.
Which is easy,
A
bro.
Boeing 737.
Which is easy in theory, but once you get to those 9, 10, 11, 12,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when they start to
The
stretch.
fatigue.
What are you doing?
Which is why I'll be doing meth before the race.
And it's like the race is in 2 weeks, right? It's not this
What?
weekend. It's next weekend of time of release.
what? It is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
time of release.
Next year.
Time of release, you're only like 10 days away from the run.
That is
you
true.
did mention that you are a bit nervous about the pain. We did ask on the show how the running was progressing, if you had clocked a 12K to date. And
I haven't.
as we mentioned, like being about 2 weeks out at the time, how that was all proceeding.
How
Get
is the
over
setup
the
at the
line.
moment? How far have you run to this point?
Last Sunday I did 9K.
Nice.
What
quick
was your
that?
K pace?
My K pace was a little slow because I was experiencing severe leg pain halfway through and I pushed through.
Ooh.
Severe leg pain.
Not what you want to hear. You really don't want to hear the pushing through the pain whilst training.
How many Ks had you done at that point before the leg pain started to become a bit of a fucking issue?
I did about 4.
Okay, that's not as many
not
as I was
good. But then I
hoping.
did another 5
So to double it,
with leg pain and my pace was kind of fine.
if you're there on the day and you get to 12 and you're like, I've got enough gas in me for 9 more, are you going to finish the whole
Oil me
race?
up.
Would you finish the whole race?
I don't.
Or are you on
think that's how
different
it
tracks?
works.
I think it's a different track. I don't think you just do laps. You just continue doing the same loop.
Same 400 meter. You get
Would I
dizzy.
keep going? God no. God no.
That's sick.
Could not imagine
So,
anything worse.
what are you thinking? Like, you thinking like, leading up to the week, which is literally next week. Are you going to be like changing your diet, maybe tapering the training?
Well, I'm
And-
going up against a robot.
You are.
Yeah.
So I needed to enlist a little bit of help from one of my own.
Oh, you asked the
I
robot
turned
itself.
to the robot god
Yes.
that we've all befriended and
Brought into
fallen
our
in love
homes.
with. I turned to chat.
Chat. Fuck yeah, chat.
And chat is basically saying, mate,
You're fucked.
you can't do it.
Seriously?
No, he's saying, chat was saying,
May the
take
best
it
man
easy.
win.
Take it easy. So apparently in the next 2 weeks, the max I'm going to run is
Wait.
like 5-6K
Wait.
in one setting.
So you're telling me that,
so small.
so you're telling me that chat was giving you notes.
Oh.
Maybe it's trying to dox you,
Oh,
Joe.
no.
Because it is robot.
It could know its brother. It could be battling.
We've got a
Yeah.
mole in our midst.
Maybe chat's a mole.
Shit.
The scary thing is, you did say on radio on Saturday that you were going to do a 10K the following day.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I didn't do it because of the leg pain and consulting chat. It said
Of course, I would stop
Take it
consulting.
easy.
I
What's
think you
your-
need to stop consulting chat. Chat is basically Essendon, and it's Collingwood versus Essendon.
Yeah.
It's never going to tell you the right thing to do.
What's your
I have no one else to turn to
do you know what's equal
Us.
except my dear friends.
Us.
do you know what's equally as important as training hard? recovering even better.
Yeah, you got to recover.
What's your recovery plan like other than not running?
I just don't run. A bit of stretching after.
A bit of? How many minutes of stretching after?
As little as possible.
30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah. I'll do a leg swing.
Like, you could
Kick the old leg out.
Because when I like train legs at the gym, I reckon I spend an equal amount of time stretching in between sets than actually training because my legs get so
I've stopped
sore.
training legs.
Yeah,
'Cause I run.
I wonder if that's a thing.
I don't think that's
good.
great either.
Muscle conditioning is probably good for it.
So when did you actually hurt your legs? We'll quickly wrap this up.
constantly.
And what hurt?
No, but when did you do it? That 5K, well, you did a 9K. When was that?
At 4K.
Last Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
But see that. But
So we've
that
had leg
hasn't-
pain for over
So
a
2
week.
Sundays ago at
We've
time
had-
of release.
Oh, but it's been hurting in a different spot.
Whereabouts?
Like my ankle.
In between the two.
Like I was walking
In the middle
Like
of-
walking to offices yesterday. I was in on Thursday.
You haven't run in a week and you're still in pain.
Yeah, severe pain.
Severe pain.
Wait, where did
That's
that
why you
hurt?
got to take
Your
it
ankle.
easy. Yeah, my ankle
Which
was
part,
really
though?
hurting. Like the ankle bit.
This
This bit here,
Oh, here we go.
up here.
Oh,
Right.
Just for
wow.
I know, no reason. I was walking up the stairs the other day, and I thought, green whistle.
We're hearing a few.
That's the thing. It's like on the day, you just can push through because you don't need to run again. Ever.
You keep saying this like you've done it before.
I've had advice.
From chat.
No, from my dear friends at work. Who've done
Okay,
it.
right.
And one of them said he did a 10K once.
Mm.
And he'd never run that far, but on the day he just
That is the scary thing. Joe, even from now till the race, as you said, he's going to run a 5K and a 4K. That doesn't seem like that. Not even those. They don't even add up to the right amount of distance.
but
You're going-
this was always the plan, was to never do 12K.
I would be terrified standing at the starter's line and being like, ever
never
run
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 this
12?
far.
Yeah.
I've never
God,
done
no.
that.
I've never done that. Could you imagine standing at the 100-meter line and Usain walks up and goes, ready to go? And you go,
only
I've
done
literally
50s.
I've never made it to the end. Alrighty, boys. We had a big week at radio on the weekend. Obviously, just chatted about Joey's running campaign.
That's
but
it.
something else sparked a little bit of a doof, 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 doof. There was a pulse.
Boys, a whole week ago since it was election day. Election day. But what I'm finding around my area is you'd still think the thing was on because I've got so many
Signs.
Floats.
signs just hanging around.
And it's interesting because it's just like the dude's or lady's face.
That's what I wanted to get to because I think they're rather boring. They're all exactly the same. If you
Yeah.
remove the face and the vote one, it's just
Yeah.
basically a blank sheet. So what I thought was we're a little bit switched on here, somewhat creative. The plan is next week we all come back with our own 3 ideas for our own signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will get the punters at home to vote on which sign they want us to take out.
Where are we going to put the sign?
I think imagine you were
You're a mascot for yourself.
you're
cool.
the mascot for yourself.
And how will we know if it's working?
Maybe we could do it while we're on radio. Each of us can head out to an intersection. Should we have like a honk?
It's got to be a honk.
honk if something, so that way people will honk.
Instant
and then,
feedback.
And then we count the amount of honks we get. Most amount of honks wins.
I like it.
I think that'll work. Yeah, that'll absolutely work. We need more honks. Don't
Yeah.
vote for us.
I
Just
didn't want to
honk
vote
for
one.
us.
I want to honk one.
Honk one, dude.
Honk one. So a little bit of a campaign brewing.
Oh.
You heard all the rules. Now, today is the day that we're going to bring our little sign suggestions
To life.
to the pack. But before we got that, a new segment needs a new song. We made some signs. Open up your heart and honk our signs.
That's right, boys. Honk our freaking signs,
Honk
dude.
our signs. As we may mention too, today is the day that we brand up our 3 independent signs. So I'll have 3, Joey has 3, Riley has 3, and the people at home
Yep.
are going to vote on the socials. If you're listening to this, you have to listen to this on Friday,
Yeah.
realistically, because
Why?
by Saturday we're going to have decided what we're going with.
Yeah, but we're not doing it till the next Saturday, right?
Correct, but
Which is the-
Because crafts and art takes time.
Yeah, we have to make massive signs.
Yeah.
so this will come out on Friday, but by tomorrow we're going to have the votes will be in, and we will have our selected
Oh my God. So if-
signs decided for us based on what you guys voted for.
If you're listening to this on release day, go to @the_MacBack Podcast on Instagram and put your vote in.
Yeah, exactly right. We're each going to have a little story slide that you guys can vote on.
Should we share our 3 ideas then, boys?
Yeah, let's start with Joe. I've got a bunch. Let's start with Joey, and then I can work out.
Yeah,
what
I
parameters.
also have a hashtag bunch.
I only have 3.
Yeah, maybe go with Riley.
Okay, Riley, you kick us off there.
No. I don't reckon mine are that good. Jay, you go
Okay.
Confidence early.
All right. So we're trying to maximize honks.
Yeah, so
Correct.
what we're trying to do, if you kind of tuned out during the radio thing,
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
Let's recap it.
Let's recap the recap. So we're going to make signs and go stand on the intersection during a radio show.
Yep.
And whoever can get the most interactions via car honks
Yep.
wins.
We're all going to go out for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're all going to have our own independent signs. Most amount of honks wins. Simple as that.
Yeah. Okay. So I've gone my first one. If the goal is purely to maximize honk,
Yes.
Yep.
you want to have something on your side that applies to everyone, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Honk if you're driving.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
That is good.
That's
That
pretty
way,
handy.
It's
everyone
relatable.
will be in the bucket, and it'll just be whether or not they're a honk or not.
I like that. That's
really
this is
good.
we've got a stats nerd with us.
Yeah, Joe's gone
That's
hard here.
that's tactical.
The next one is potentially this one may need an edit.
Maybe bring your fucking sheet down.
May need an edit, but this one is honk if your passenger's a gimp.
Okay.
Yeah, you
What if-
might get hit by a car if you put that up.
When they're driving, they're agreeing. They're
That's
honking.
funny though.
What if
Just
there's-
imagine? Yeah, imagine being.
I
in the
thought of
driver's-
having something anti-passenger because then it's like they'll
Yeah.
look at the sign. Hey, that's what I was imagining.
It is a weird one where the joke is like the butt of the joke is the friend,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're relating to someone who
In
you've never
charge of the
seen before,
vehicle.
standing on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my last option was obviously it's Radio Frio.
Yeah.
So I had a few Frio specific options
Okay, this is
Ooh.
breaking
that
a
I
few rules, but
was not 100% sure which one I should go for.
you're gonna have to pick one before we go to the poll. So you can tell us what they are.
I can
now,
read them out now, yeah.
but you can't have 8 options and we
No,
get
obviously,
3
no.
each.
So I've got honk if Frio is better than cot.
Okay, wasn't
Wow.
sure what the last two, what the last noise.
Glad you
first
said
were.
cot.
Honk if you've been visited by the Frio doctor, then a local.
Oh.
It's a lot of text.
It's a long one,
That's
yeah.
a niche one.
I would have a doctor emoji on there. And the last one is honk if Frio prison is haunted.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay,
But that might
pick
think
one.
like conspiracy. I can go the first one.
I would
Frio
go-
is better than cot.
Yeah, I'd even not say cot. I'd just say the other word that we were thinking.
I'm not sure what word.
Okay, which one are you locking in as your third option?
Is Frio better than cot? Cot is slow.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I hope that one doesn't get fixed. I
I
reckon your first
highly
one.
doubt it will.
First one's
First
good.
one's fucking good.
Honk if you're driving.
Do you
I
wanna
think
go?
that's really
It's not
good.
too obvious. I thought we'd all have that.
Nah, Joe Riley, let's go. Let's hear yours.
All right, I'm going to start off with a classic one. I wanted to hit that relatability
Yeah.
niche as well.
Okay.
Obviously, our show takes place every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 on Radio Fremantle. And Freo is the town of partying, is it not?
Yeah.
Honk if you're getting on the beers tonight.
That's not bad.
I like that.
That's not bad. That's relatable.
It'll get a
Yeah.
lot of lads involved.
Yeah. It is
Couple-
early though.
It is early in the morning.
I was thinking of doing a.
It's like the most anticipated thing ever.
I was thinking
Yeah.
of doing a honk if you're hungover.
Oh.
But then I was like, that could be like a undercover cop
Yeah.
kind of thing.
it's just a line.
You're under arrest. My next one was a bit more wholesome and on theme with my catchphrase on this show, honk if you love your mum.
That's good. Would have been great last weekend.
Yeah, who doesn't love their mum? Well, I could think of a few people.
Yeah, and hit me with your car if you don't. Okay, I don't mind that one. I reckon that's winning at the moment.
And this one's my favourite. 20 honks and I'll take my top off.
You're hoping people will hang about.
Or something of that, like 20 honks and I'll take X off. Like including me. One honk, I'll remove a piece of clothing kind of thing. So that way there's a goal. And I was thinking of putting on my sign, like, you know, footy score numbers, how you can change the number. So I'll be like 1 out of 20, 2 out of 20, 17 out of 20. And the lucky 20th will be
I
there.
like it.
That's
Then-
not
but
bad.
then it's a
Office
bit-
Works is going to be getting a run with that one.
But then it might be a bit scary if I hit 20 and then you guys are at like 30. How's that work with the whole math thing?
Exactly.
If we get 30, I'll fucking shit myself at this point. I've got a few honourable mentions. I was thinking very similar to what Riley was saying, and I was going to go with honk and I'll backflip, which is an empty promise because I don't know how to backflip.
But
And additionally, under the empty promise rule, I was going to go honk for a 3-day weekend. I've got
Okay, you have no sway.
No, but if it's just about getting the honks, that could work.
Everyone would agree with that.
And the other honourable mention was honk if this is the weirdest thing you've seen today.
Yeah, long.
But the ones that I, the ones that
they
I-
were all
they're all honourable mentions. I did a fair amount of brainstorming. I'm pretty competitive. I went and similar to your one. What was your first one?
Honk if you're driving.
Yeah. The first one I went with was honk for mental health. Because if you don't honk,
Yeah.
like
How
go
can
fuck yourself.
Can you be against mental health?
Yeah. If you- do you hate mental health? What sort of person hates mental health?
Honk for
You're playing the
mental
guilt
health.
card.
Yeah, very
I
much.
do like that one. It's coy.
That's okay. The other one I went with was honk if you're a legend, and then in brackets you are. Boys, 5 years of the pod coming up, so it's time for a performance review.
You bloody betcha, Jake. It's been too long.
It's been too long. Who's the boss? Who's telling us what we're doing?
Well, we don't have bosses here at the MacPack. You are the only stakeholder listening. So we want to throw the thing open to you. We've made a Google form with a few questions in there.
It's anonymous.
It's completely anonymous. So whether that is a good thing or a bad thing will work out after the first few come through. But it does mean no matter what you put in there, we'll never know who put anything in there. We want to hear your favourite things about the pod, your least favourite things about the pod, the things you want more of, the new ideas that you might have.
Yes.
It's all open for you guys.
Link in bio, link in show notes. Hit us up. Okay.
So again,
Bit of
playing.
reading.
We've
We've got a parentheses involved in that one.
and then I'm a bit split. I've got two more. I'm a bit split. I'm happy for you guys to decide which one I go with here. I've got honk to make me dance because it's a bit like the backflip one, but I actually can dance.
Yeah.
And then fourth here, but I need you to pick one of the last two. Honk if you hate signs that tell you to honk.
Nice.
Oh, I like that one.
These are
That one's
really
better than the dancing one.
Well, you got to pick three here.
Okay.
I've got my three.
Of mine.
I've got my
Well,
three.
yeah, you've just listed 12.
Yeah,
No, I've
you
just
did
listed,
about
no,
100.
the last,
Honk if you like lists.
the other one I went with was just honk, please.
I reckon
It's going to be the last one. I like honk for mental health.
for $5.
A lot of empty promise ones. So let's go honk for mental health.
Yeah, that one's great.
And then I think honk if you're a legend.
Nah.
No, I reckon that one's a bit.
Okay. Honk to make me dance.
Wait, honk if you're a legend, you are. Is that one?
Yeah.
I like the you are.
The you are makes it.
I like that one.
Okay.
But just honk if you're a legend is a bit.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not having me make many decisions here. Okay. So we're locking in
That's
honk.
your job.
We're locking in honk for mental health because if you're against mental health, I want to sort of see it. Honk if you hate signs that tell you to honk.
You got to pick, bro. I can't remember them all.
It's between the dance. We're not doing that one. We're going honk to make me dance. Honk if you're a legend, you are, and honk for mental health.
All right, so we're going to chuck these up on the poll.
All right, let's say them all again
Yeah,
just to
okay.
make it
Get it-
smooth.
get
My
it
three
clean.
are honk if you're getting on the beers tonight, or honk if you love your mum, or 20 honks and I'll take my ex off.
Mine is honk if you're driving, honk if your passenger's a gimp, potentially gimp being edited to a different word, but same vein, and honk if Frio is better than Cottesloe.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, and mine are going with honk if you're a legend, you are. Honk to make me dance, or my favourite, honk for mental health.
Nice.
We'll get a poll out on the socials quite literally as you're listening to this if it is on the Friday. If you're listening to it on the Saturday, still get your votes in because, hey, if someone... There could be a change. There could be a huge sway in numbers while the poll's up.
It could.
But get your polls... basically get your votes in. We'll be deciding on Saturday morning
Yep.
what our respective signs are going to be. We'll work out a punishment as well because I think we'll have to suss a punishment. We can't do this without... I don't think we should have a winner. I think we should have a loser.
Yeah.
Because there's no pride in being... If you win, fantastic. Unreal. But there's a real desperation with coming dead last.
There you go. May
Love
the
it.
best sign win and may the worst sign lose.
Boys, I'm a little bit concerned that there might be something wrong with me.
Yep.
Agreed.
And drums. No, what is taking place at the moment? So you boys have both been to my place. Now, where I live at the moment, there has been a little bit of an uprising. In the sense that, let me paint the picture for you. 2 years ago, we all moved into the place at the same time. They were all built at the exact same time.
You live in a polycule, right?
I don't even know what that means.
Me neither, but it sounded funny.
So we all moved in within like the same fucking week.
Polycule is like a relationship, but it's like 12 people.
I'm glad we
Fuck
cleared
yeah.
it up.
So yes.
So but to answer your question, no, so we all sort of moved in to all our respective houses, basically in the same week to 2 weeks. They're all
as
built in the
different
same.
like couples and families.
Yeah. And then we decided that wasn't working, so we all live in one place together. No, so what has happened in recent times, the house to my left 2 years ago, we even talked about the fact that I had some neighbour there.
Stage left or audience left?
Left. So, so
East.
the girl who lived there sold her place, right?
Sold.
And a new guy moved in. I rate him. We have a bit of a chat.
And how's he fit into the rela?
Yeah.
Well, he's a recurrent. He'll come up in a bit. All right.
Okay.
Stay tuned on him. Lovely guy. Very, very rarely there.
Okay.
Seems to be doing a lot of maintenance on the house and whatnot. But again, they were bought and built like 3 years ago. So I'm not sure what maintenance there. Like part of me thinks there's a Breaking Bad situation or a bathtub's fallen through the walls. So he moved in about 2 years ago. The place to my immediate right,
Okay.
they sold their place and a new person has moved in as of a week ago.
Nice.
Really nice guy. I met him for the first time actually today. The place one over from him, still on the right-hand side.
Neighbour 2 doors down on the right.
They're renting their place out as of last week.
Cowards.
So they're just going, I think they're going travelling or something. So they're moving away and they're renting out their place.
Yep.
The person who lives directly behind me, they've sold within the last month. New people there. Saw him today. Said g'day.
Wow.
Person directly behind me and then to the left one,
Yep.
Yep.
brand new as well. Sold their place a month ago. New people were in, have said g'day to them as well.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is literally as long as you're sort of touching my property,
Yeah. Jake is the neighbour from hell.
you're moving out. So what I want to know is
You got to put some pants on.
what am I doing wrong?
That's so strange.
It seems bizarre.
That thing you do with the roast chicken and
With the windows
with the
open.
top down. Yeah. It's noisy and it smells.
And the blinds are akimbo.
I just don't understand
So the
what's
good
taking
thing
like.
about having Venetian blinds is that they close. They're not always like that.
I have no idea what's taking place. Literally everyone around me is new, and I'm introducing myself to new neighbours.
Do you think it's because, like, I mean, the area
It's
like,
new.
It's also developing around you. Like, there's been independent grocer associations.
Yeah, maybe they're anti
doctors,
independent
florists,
grocers.
Zambreros.
Maybe they're
put in.
from like
They're part of the Woolworths group.
Yeah, they're all work at Woolies. They maybe hate that place.
So the lady back and left, I know for a fact, didn't like the idea that there was a big not a big shopping centre, a niche little shopping centre opening up.
Yeah.
I know for a fact. She was pretty vocal in like our Facebook community page.
I love driving to get my groceries.
Well, it's very close to her place. She's got a young family and like the shop finishes at like 10 o'clock.
And it's like
I imagine trucks are beeping past at 4 a.m.
No.
Yeah.
that I don't have anything to do with.
Fair enough.
But
I'm on
everyone
her side,
else I don't understand. So I'm not sure.
Cowards.
What do you mean cowards?
It's like if you made the decision to buy the house, you're
Sure.
done. You're done.
Hang about.
Yeah.
So all of this is taking place, right? And I was
Like, why are they selling?
I don't know either. The value of the place have gone up.
Yeah.
They're getting that capital gains tax.
But they're
I'm
getting
not
out,
sure where
they're
they're
getting out quick.
But I'm not
Where
sure
are they
they're
moving
going.
to? They're
not
That's
playing
the
the
thing.
long game.
I haven't spoken. They don't chat on the way out either. They're
Yeah.
just gone, and you're like, oh. Except one, the lady back and left was using my bin quite frequently to clear out her garage. I had a
Ask
weird
about that.
Yeah, her dad did. He's like quite an old.
How old is she?
No, she's like normal.
40.
Yeah,
She's a normal age.
yeah, she's like she had kids, and then I pulled in home
Yeah,
one
yeah.
day. I literally opened up because we went to get the bins picked up Mondays, right?
Yeah.
Then I went to leave and I just moved the bin so I could drive out. And I was like, "Fuck, it's very heavy." I said, "I don't remember putting any of that."
Wait,
shit
they
in
put stuff in
That's illegal.
on bin day after the bins were picked
No,
up.
no, no. prior to the bins being picked
You know
up.
that actually is illegal.
And then I've opened it up and there was so much shit in there. And I was like, well, none of that's mine. And she's a teacher.
Uh-oh.
And like, so her name
So
is
you had to
written on-
teach her a lesson.
So her name was written on everything. Anyway, so I worked out who it was and I was like, that's her there. Anyway, didn't think too much of it. Drove out, came back. When I came back, there was like an old man there. Let's call him Grandpa. It's her dad.
Yeah.
And he's standing there and he starts chatting to me and he's like, oh man, like, do you mind we just put some stuff in your bin because like she doesn't have any room? And I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Do you mind? You've already done it.
Yeah, that's illegal. In most parts of Australia, putting rubbish in a neighbour's bin without permission. Did they have permission before?
It was definitely in there before any.
Okay. Yeah, that's
chat.
considered illegal or at least a form of trespassing or theft of service. And it could be, they could be done for...
If it was like an apple, it's like whatever.
No, but even that,
There's
like,
heaps
even
of
if I
shit.
like threw a KFC wrapper in someone's bin, they could do me there and there. They could
Maybe
bend
that's why
me over.
you need to sell up and fly the coop.
Anyway, so I didn't really care
Yeah,
too much about
You
that.
can get fined for it.
Anyway, he asked when the next
King
time he saw me, he asked.
King
And
the
They
dog.
should be rotting in a cell.
maybe that's where she's got. She didn't sell. She just went.
She didn't sell.
Yeah,
She's in a cell.
But what happened yesterday, lads, made me a little bit more nervous. So, as I mentioned, everyone around me is selling, except the dude to my left, who's only been there two years.
But doesn't live there.
Oh, he's always
He's
in
a squatter.
He's always in and out. But whenever he's there, he's like I can hear
But does
him
he
doing
live? Like,
shit.
does he go there to go to bed? Or is no
I
one there at
don't
night
check
time?
on him.
Is he a member?
Like, is there a light on from 7 p.m. onwards?
If I go there
nightly?
tonight, I'm 1,000% sure I could stand there, knock on his door. He wouldn't be there. I just don't know. I think he lives elsewhere.
Squatters' rights. Me and Joe could move
We
in.
could be squatters
If you, I'm pretty sure,
Right.
isn't it? If you squat in a house
for like an hour.
15 months or something,
That's
15
right. That,
minutes.
that
Then
would
you
do
can-
so much for your
I'm pretty
for your
sure.
quads.
You
Your
do a
quads would be-
barbell squat there every day.
your quads would be burning.
if you
15 months of a squat. You deserve the house.
I think if you squat in a house for like 15 months, the house belongs to you.
well, he comes back. He comes back
Yeah,
more
yeah.
frequently than
If we
once.
slit this guy's throat, we can get his out.
He comes back more than once every 15 months. Like he's there. I don't know.
Yeah,
every
you just
couple-
have to hide then.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
hold.
obviously.
It could be tough when you're squatting. You're doing you're up against the
Yeah.
wall trying to get some
Yeah.
support for your squat. Anyway, I noticed yesterday before I was actually coming over here.
Is there spotters, right?
I spotted him leaving. You haven't been here in ages. I spotted that. So what I noticed yesterday, which was quite disconcerting, was, and I'm becoming very familiar with the process, a photographer arrived.
Oh,
yes.
curtains.
Bit
Take
of,
photos of the dead
bit of the
body.
OF model, right?
At his place,
Yeah.
and they were taking photos of his front yard.
Yeah.
They were taking photos from the street. And I was like, this fucker's selling as well. So now literally everyone is going to be a new neighbor within a month.
It's 12 to 15 years. Not months, which does make more sense.
That's a long time.
But even still, like if you just chill in a house for 12 years and you're like,
How often?
mine, it's mine. It's been 12 years, yes. Fuck yeah.
there's a small family
And
in
it's got a
there.
milli
How-
property value.
But like, obviously, like you're like dudes though. Like, how often do you need to be there?
I don't know.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't.
every night?
I don't know.
It can't be every night.
Because I'm not even a
But then
my
it can't
There's
be
no way
like,
to tell.
Yeah, but it can't be like you were there one night.
Yeah, how do
and
you
then 12
prove?
years later, you're like, I'm still here, kind of.
Yeah, prove that you were here the whole time.
We should find a place that we can squat right.
Yeah.
12 years.
Yeah, it
What
could
do
be
you
a
guys
fucking MacBack project or whatever. I love doing that crap.
So
Make a little jingle.
What could the song be?
It's 12 years down and we're squatting the house.
On the 12th year of squatting, the house belongs to me.
so what?
And a hobo living in the tree.
So yeah. Do you mind if I continue? Are we?
No,
What do you know? This is our segment.
So the guy next door who's only been there for 2 years, he's obviously selling his house,
Yeah.
right?
He's going to go squat.
He's taking photos. He's got a photographer there, and he sort of saw me. They definitely saw me putting my pants, like getting organized. I had my.
Looks over and goes, hey, he does own pants.
get one of that.
So I was about to come here and I had the windows upstairs it's marginally open.
Kimbo.
Yeah.
Venetian.
And then I saw this photographer standing there as I was like getting ready. He saw me. I didn't. What do you do in this situation? Do you wave? Like, it's a weird situation. So I didn't really do anything.
Close the blind.
I did that. But the owner of the house came and he started chatting to the photographer. And I'm sure they're fucking talking about me because what else is there? You've just seen someone like clearly make eye contact. Yeah, make
How
eye
nude
contact.
were you?
No, I was clothing. Anyway, I've gone to leave the house, and this is sort of the situation I wanted to talk about, even though it's been about 14 minutes. I left my house. They were taking photos at the shopping centre in the car park.
Of his car?
He's selling everything.
He's selling the IGA.
No, because his house, you can see his house from the shopping centre.
Oh, yeah.
So they're getting like a side profile of the house, right?
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense. Don't overthink it. You know where the
Yeah,
shopping
yeah.
centre
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
POV, what the IGA says.
Yeah.
So I've driven out, and then I thought this is a perfect time to ask. I hadn't seen him in a few days, and I was like, I basically never see him because he's never there. And I was like, I need to ask him because he's obviously selling. So I put my sunroof open
Okay.
He stood up.
as I was driving around, and I put my window down, and I yelled out to him
You fucking wanker.
from about
Get off the road, dickhead.
from about 10 meters away. I yelled what I thought was quite loud. I literally just went, "You're selling up!" And he turned to his mate, or he's a photographer friend, and just went, didn't say anything to him, and then turned to me and just went, "Yeah, no worries, man." And then I was like, "Oh, he hasn't heard me. I'll go again." And so by this point, my car is stopped. And I've put down that left-hand side window,
Yeah.
and I yell out, "Are you selling up?" And then he turns to the photographer guy, looks at me, and he goes, "Yeah, mate, no worries." And then just turn back to the photographer guy.
And this guy knows that you're his neighbour?
Well, I thought so. I know that he's my neighbour.
Did he say, yeah, mate, no worries?
Yes.
Oh, that's a bit rude.
He goes, "Yeah, mate, no worries." And then I think the second
No,
time he
he
said,
didn't hear what.
and then I think the second time he said, "Yeah, all good." And I'm not sure if he thought, I don't know if he knew who I was, but secondly, I think that I hope that he didn't mishear me.
Are you selling up? That's a bit of a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's like
Why is there a direction
selling
involved?
up. That's more like a shop's folding.
Yeah, you're closing up. Like closing up shop.
Yeah, selling up shop.
What is selling up? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, if I was moving house and someone said, "Are you guys selling up?"
No,
I would be confused.
I'm selling down.
So I'm hoping that he misheard me and he just thought I was saying like, "What's up?"
Okay.
But from the distance that he was away, I'm not too sure.
How far?
10 meters and then into probably
What
5
could you have
meters.
said? Are you setting up?
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But what I thought, if you guys had the time, maybe we could do a bit of a recreation.
And we can see what it sounded like.
Yeah. And I'll get you guys to be perched there ready to go. And then I'll come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be taking photos of this guy's house.
Yeah. And then I'll come out.
With the biggest lens we have.
And then I'll come out and I'll say exactly what I said the same way I said it. And
We'll see what
if,
it sounded like.
Yeah. Because if he's misheard me, that's fine. And then I looked for, because then after the second one, I just awkwardly was like, well, this is weird now. I'm stopped. He clearly doesn't want to chat. And then I just like tail in between my legs, drove off.
I like it. A recreation of sorts.
So maybe we could do a recreate.
Yeah, I like it. And then we could do like POV inside your car.
Yeah.
What Mike's inside your car.
And Mike's on us.
And then Mike's on us and see what we can hear
Yeah.
from both perspectives.
Because if he did hear me say you're selling up twice and he's just like being rude, I've clearly done something wrong.
Yeah.
He definitely. Are you selling up? Yeah, no worries. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, he definitely didn't hear what you said, but I feel
But
like
maybe there's some acoustic trickery going on. Yeah. The words are vibrating. They're coming out of your window and the sunroof. The waves form together. Hey, mate. Something.
upselling?
Alrighty, boys, time for our favourite weekly segment. It's our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday hero.
Yes, I've got it this week. I'll take it. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. It happened when I was in the car.
In the car.
Yes, that's right. I was heading down none other than Varland Ave.
Oh, shit. That's the South
South
Street.
Street's
from-
cousin.
That connects
how old
South
South
Street
Street.
and Leach Highway,
Yes.
which is where a
And
hero
High
I
Road.
awarded was a couple of weeks ago.
Roads
and
be connecting.
Jake frequently awards.
Yes, I was heading down Varland. I was stuck at the lights.
Nice.
When I sit at the lights, I like to
Go on
look
your
around.
phone.
Yeah. No, I took off my VR headset and I was sitting there. I like to look around at the other cars, see what's going on.
Like
in
what,
the other
though?
cars.
Show us what you look like when you're doing it. How
Why are
terrifying.
you naked?
Oh yeah,
Right,
that's what I do.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
It's real perusing,
Just
isn't it?
taking it
It's
all
like,
in.
Oh, you're just sitting there. What else are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Stare ahead.
Go on reels for a bit.
Yeah, yeah, do anything.
tweak with the dials.
Yeah, flick
What's
around.
everyone else doing? Everyone else, but it is funny when you look. Like everyone's doing something.
Yeah, texting.
Texting mainly,
You
yeah.
could yell out, "You sell it up!" That's what I do. Every place I go, just
and I-
yelling at people.
And usually like obviously it's pretty boring because you're at the lights.
Yeah. You're not getting that dopamine fix.
Yeah, there's nothing going. No one's ever got anything exciting going on in their car, except this time.
Oh.
Yes, that's right. I looked up
Naked
in
lady.
I looked up in my rear view mirror
Naked man.
and I see a naked man.
Do you actually?
Yeah, he was in the back seat.
Oh, what?
Yes. He was trying to strangle me. Now I looked up the car behind me. I see a man driving.
Mammoth.
And it's around school time. This is around when I'm getting to work.
Oh, in the morning. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And I see him and he's doing an old fashioned move that I hadn't seen in a hot minute.
A line off his dash.
no, he's leaning back like this. Like he's driving, whatever, one hand's on the wheel.
Yeah.
Well, he was in a mirror, so it was the other way around. Wait, what?
No,
I guess
it's
he
the
was
right
sitting
way
there,
around.
yeah.
It's the right way around.
Tell your story. We'll tell you which hand it is.
Anyway, and he's leaning back and he's like,
Wait, where's this?
What's happening here?
he's on the steering wheel.
With his right hand. Window hand.
Window hand.
Window hand.
side.
Yeah. Because with his other hand, he's leaning back.
Yeah, he's choking
And
himself.
sort of, it looked like he was hitting his kid.
Oh.
Dare I say?
The classic
A
move.
classic move that you don't see nowadays. And I was watching, I was like, get him! Yeah. And as he was sort of plowing blows back there, I was like shocked as to what I was seeing.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was just like kind of fuck, like,
Yeah.
what's going down?
Yeah, domestic.
Yeah, a bit of a DV action. And
Domestic
then I was
on
like, oh my
bar.
God. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm staring at him.
I'm next. Oh, can he reach me from there?
So I kind of divert my eyes. Then I like, look up and like,
So he's actually hitting a kid?
well, I thought.
Oh, okay.
He was. no, he was.
It was a dog.
So it turns out, yeah, it was a mutt.
That's terribly sad.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, so it turns out what he was doing, I looked back and then he turned to face it and he was smiling with glee, which I thought this guy's a psychopath.
Right.
But it turns out what he was doing was he was singing a song
Oh.
and he was holding his daughter's hand. And they were dancing.
Oh.
They were like dancing together to the song.
That's
But
cool.
when he was looking that way, lifting his arm up and down,
Looked like he was
it
laying
looked
blood.
rather violent.
Yeah.
But it turns out he was jamming out to probably some god awful song that his kid likes.
Baby shark.
Yeah, Baby Shark, something like that. And he was just up and about, and he kept going for ages, like smiling, singing,
Hell yeah.
Huge.
having fun.
what
So he
was-
turned a toxic nightmare of a morning into something that made me smile.
That's
Love
huge.
it. Did you try and find it on the dial? Do you ever do that when you hear someone else listening to something? Can you put it in?
No, I was listening to an audiobook.
Oh, sure.
You really are the weirdest person.
Which
I know.
testament are we up to?
Hey, Exodus.
That's so cool. Yeah, I guess, starting sometimes, especially when we're young, going to school early in the morning, you're like, oh, I've got 10 more years of this
Yeah.
shit. But to have a bit of a jam sesh with old
Yeah, and it was quite a young kid. It was in one of those car seats.
Oh, right.
Okay.
That's perfect. It's
Yeah.
a good way to start the morning.
Yeah, I liked
Absolutely.
it. He was up and about. He was so jolly, and he wasn't violent.
The driving
That's
dad.
the key. I reckon that's the headline. He wasn't violent. Maybe you two should try that when you come to radio tomorrow.
Yeah.
You guys can just Riley in the passenger
Hold
seat.
hands and dance.
Yeah, Riley in the passenger
like
seat.
that.
You can play Baby Shark.
Yeah,
Or
well,
something.
usually Riley sits on my lap.
So this week's Everyday Hero is going to the front seat favourite.
Yep,
Hell
he's
yeah.
my front seat favourite.
I love it. It was good work, Joey boy. We love that. We love that. Alrighty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the podcast. The Oodie sales absolutely dominating at the moment. Thank you to everyone.
Oodie, we're trying to push Oodie in summer.
Yeah.
Struggling.
No, we planted the seeds
That's
in our listeners' subconscious.
Yeah.
So when they go, oh, it's a bit nippy.
I could use an Oodie.
Oh, I'm a bit nippy right now. I could use an Oodie.
I heard the story of the Oodie guy recently.
Our boss.
Yeah, boss man.
Yeah.
We call him.
The story about how he saw our video and said, I will need these boys to sell our Oodie.
Yeah, no, he's like a entrepreneur. He's like a chill
Well
dude.
observed.
He's an Australian guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Do you guys know who he is?
Yeah.
Oh, is he on Shark Tank?
I think so. Yeah,
I think he's the same guy.
yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
stuff about him on LinkedIn.
He's only a young dude.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's like, yeah, he's a beast. Yeah,
He's
a
Mr.
guy.
Beast.
We should get him on. That'd be sick. Get the Oodie guy on. Get Boss Man on. Hey, boss. Hey,
Yeah.
boss.
Hey, boss. Do you reckon he's got like, goes to a business meeting, he's like in a suit Oodie?
I hope so.
We could do a proper performance review with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That's cool, yeah.
Anywho.
Reach out to him. You don't
Yeah,
even
buy
know his
one or
name.
something.
No,
What do
we
you,
have to figure
you're
it
not
out.
legally allowed to call him by his name. Though. You
Oh,
have
we
to
just
call-
we just call him
We don't call
boss.
him boss man.
It's like a respect thing. Hey, boss.
Oh, well.
And he calls us his underlings.
We
yes.
kind of like fit into the pouch of his hoodie.
yeah.
It's like instead of having like a business model like triangle.
Yeah.
Where there's
yeah.
like the tree.
He's the head of, he's like the hoodie part of the
He's
hoodie.
the hood of the hoodie.
And we're the hoodie part of the hoodie.
yeah.
We're all in the little Joey sack.
Yeah. We're all in Joey's sack.
Yep.
It's been an absolute pleasure. But yeah, if you are enjoying the episode, make sure to share it with your friends. But also, do yourself a favour. Grab yourself a discounted Oodie. Discount link available in our link in bio. I think you can use MacPack20
That's it.
as the code as well. Don't let him down.
Literally no
Backpack
idea. Just try MacPack into the biggest number. And hopefully that's the
Try
one.
90. Tell us if
Yeah,
it works.
yeah.
Davey Fogarty. Help us out and help Davey Fogarty out. His net worth's around 150 mil.
That's a lot of Oodies.
Yeah.
Well, he must have a
The
really
Oodie
good
With
discount
these
link.
discounts, he must be business crazy.
The Oodie has generated over. Guess how much the Oodie has
He must
generated.
have the best affiliate link.
Yeah. What's his discount card?
Guess how much the Oodie has generated over its time of existing. How much money?
400 trillion.
I wouldn't even know.
Overs or unders?
6 mil.
6 million. He's worth $150 million.
Oh, is he? I missed that bit.
$600 million. Which is
600
fucking
mil.
nuts.
So
Considering
he's spent quite a bit of it then.
So how much do they go for? An Oodie? Like $90? $120 or something?
Not sure if
No
we
idea,
should be
but
getting into the
whatever you
weeds.
think it is, it's 20% less.
So if you work out how many they would have had to sell.
We could have an idea like that.
Wait, let's find out.
Giant hoodie.
Are
God,
you
he's
going
good.
to order an Oodie now? Use the code. Don't forget to use the code.
Yeah, obviously. You guys just stall for a bit while I...
Okay, well, we were just hoping to wrap the show, actually.
Yeah, so they go for around 90, let's say $95
Okay.
is an Oodie.
What are we doing here? Working out how many
many
he
is-
What
sold.
would I put in to find that out?
600 million divided by that.
And how many zeros is that?
Keep going.
Yeah,
keep
6
going.
zeros after the 100 bit.
That one, next one?
No, another one?
That
Yeah.
one.
Divided by, say,
95.
they're roughly around $95 each. So he's sold over 6,315,789.47 of an Oodie.
Who bought 4.7?
Which cheeky.
That do it.
Cheeky prick.
Cheeky bugger.
Yeah.
4.47.
Or maybe that's like the
Do you reckon
baby
they wanted the
model.
top bit or you just got
That's
a
crazy.
sash?
Maybe like they cut the sleeves.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a sleeveless Oodie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or maybe they had one arm.
And how many people live in how many people live in Australia?
So you're telling me everyone's
Like
got an Oodie?
27 million?
Oh, so there's
So
still
that's
room.
like 1 in 5 to
Five.
6 Aussies own an Oodie based off of my horrendous math.
They sell them elsewhere though, right?
Fakies.
Not sure.
We would never do Fogarty like that though.
We wouldn't. You only ever buy official Oodie merch from us
That's it.
out the back of our car. So There we go. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. You can go grab yourself an Oodie.
Even just buy one. I'm pretty sure if you return it, they're not clawing the money back from us, right?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Should we?
There must be some process.
Let's maybe take that offline. But that's a good shout. We could make some quick bucks, couldn't we?
Yeah. Hey
Imagine
guys,
if we just bought
the 40,000 Oodies you guys saw have all been returned. Weird. Yeah. Who cares, Fogarty? We're all rich.
Boys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Until we do this time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mama a hug.
it's Jabba now, but not forever. G'day guys, hope you're enjoying the podcast.
As always.
We're about to be enjoying the podcast anyway.
yeah.
If you are enjoying the pod, make sure to send it to a friend. Yeah. And excitingly, there's a brand new feature
New feature alert.
on Spotify, which is that little feedback box.
The box. We love a little box.
And on the on each of the episodes, you can plug away a bit of feedback for the show. So you can literally say basically give us some feedback specific to the show that you just listened to, the episode you just listened to. No matter what episode you're up to, ping us in that feedback, and then you can that feedback will then feature for other people who are catching up or they're listening to the episodes. They will see that as well, and most importantly, we like to see it. So if you can share it with your friends and write a few little words in the box, it would mean the absolute world to us.